Hey guys, explosive allegations obtained from a recent emergency custody filing by John Paul Miller's ex-wife
was released last week, and a voice file from Mica to her was also attached to this.
Hey, Allie, it's Mica. This is my new number. Please don't give it to anybody, but I just wanted to see who your counselor was to help you, walk through forgiveness and stuff and keep your heart right through all the mess, because I don't want to lose myself in this, and I don't want to pursue anything out of anger or vengeance or anything like that. I just want to be free and have peace and keep my soul right. So, if you just text me a name, even of a good counselor,
in the filing, she had
greatly
said
appreciate it.
text messages from the cell phone of party's minor child to Mica Miller that were actually from defendant, evidencing how defendant put children in the middle of his marital affairs. Note, the minor child did not write these text messages. They were done by defendant, acting as though it was the minor child to attempt and persuade Mica to come home. JP told me that in addition to his affair with Mica, he had employed prostitutes and been sexually inappropriate with several underage female members of our church. He blamed his immoral sexual behaviors on the sexual abuse he experienced for years by his father, Wayne Miller. The church requested that JP enroll in an extensive sexual addiction program. However, despite him promising me that he would, to my knowledge, that never happened. And sadly, I kind of thought this was the case with John Paul Miller and his actions. With how sick his dad is, I knew that there had been some trauma from his childhood that's stemming into this person that he is today. Gosh, you guys. And then number 9 is saying how JP had told her the names of these minors that were members of the church, and she contacted them to come forward, but they were too scared of JP to do that. And when she went to the police department requesting an investigation, it doesn't seem like anything came about it. Mica began calling me for advice on how to free herself from JP and for guidance as to counselors and people to assist her. I prayed with Mica and did all I could to provide her with sound advice and guidance. Mica shared information with me about the things my children were exposed to while in the care of JP and warned me that my children were in danger while in his care. I have several recordings and text messages that verify this information, and it causes me tremendous concern about the safety and welfare of our children while in the care of JP, especially now that Mica is no longer present. I was married to JP for 16 years. Although my story and what I lived through with JP is different in some ways, many details shared with me by Mica are so similar to my own experience with JP.
So Allison Williams, his ex-wife, explained in all these documents that there's multiple minor victims of John Paul Miller, and after he allegedly admitted to the inappropriate interactions with the children, she reached out to the parents, and according to her, the children confirmed the abuse but were too scared to come forward. She says that even though the children were afraid to come forward, she went to police and they did essentially nothing. Allison says Chris Skinner, the husband of Susie Skinner, allegedly approached JP Miller 2 weeks prior to his death and told him to stay away from his wife and kids. Days later, JP Miller was preaching his funeral. Oh my God, you guys. She says that JP Miller allegedly got the chief of police to assist in expunging his record. She says that he would allegedly pretend to be his children while texting Mica to convince her to come home. She said she wants Wayne Miller and the father, John Paul Miller, to have no contact with her children. Allison says she doesn't want to keep her kids from John Paul forever, but she doesn't want them around until he has a full psychiatric and parental evaluation. Which makes a lot of sense with everything we know about this man and the fact that he was seen walking around the front yard of his house yesterday evening wearing a Spider-Man suit. So crazy indeed, but also, you guys, he is loving this attention because he is a very sick man. Let's also not forget, JP's alibi the day Mica died was his daughter's soccer game. His ex-wife has declined to make any kind of statement, not answering if he was or if he wasn't there. And there is still no proof of him that has been released for the public to see. No pictures or videos. If you have any information or tips, please send it to this email below, justiceformicatips@gmail.com.